At Kyzen, we know it's the science that makes the difference. The right solutions happen when you care enough to ask the right questions. And we understand that your performance is directly related to ours. Science knows why it works, care knows why it's important.
Welcome to Kyzen here at IPC Apex 2022. I'm delighted to be joined by Tom Forsyth, my old friend and colleague. Good to see you, Tom.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah.
It's been a few months since Munich and Productronica.
That is true. And with any luck, we're going to be starting to get back to normal a bit more
Let's hope so.
going forward. So you've got a new product which you've actually releasing here at the show.
Correct. That's correct.
The A4626, I believe, is the name.
Aquanox A4626. It's been in development for several years, as is the case with most of our new products. Right. With the key, the challenge, of course, is that it's the enhancement to some terrific products. So the bar to be, in fact, a more effective product is a pretty high bar, but it's one that it's managed to achieve, and it brings. Of course, there's been new products invented since the other products have been invented, right? So it helps us expand the operating envelope. And its goal and objective, which has delivered in several months of field testing, actually several quarters of field testing, is with beta sites, is people are getting increased line speeds, sometimes 50 to 70% faster, of course, in a batch system, that would be a shorter cycle time. Also operating at lower concentrations, which is a direct money saver. There. And of course, one of our stock and trades is shiny solder joints, where we don't etch or chemically attack things, particularly the solder joints. And it does. It's among the finest products we have there, where it's just really does a great job. And that's particularly important in batch cleaners when the cycle times do get extended for some reason. There's always a risk of that, and we're able to do that without additives or any of that sort of stuff. Just a complete product that's ready to go.
Right. So, and as you said, it's reduced concentration, so it's really a cheaper product.
Right.
There's more.
That turns in a direct cost. Okay. If I'm running it at 20%, and say something costs $10, well, that's $2, per gallon. And if I'm running it 12%, that's $1.20, which would be a 40% savings. So you see, there's real economic benefits there for particularly people using other technologies. That often do run at more elevated concentrations.
So, basically, it's an all-round board cleaner. You've tested it on all different board finishes.
That's right, all different board finishes, as well as at a very broad range of soldering materials. Our applications lab has dozens of different materials in place, and as the product development process moves forward, that circle gets expanded to include more and more. It starts with the most difficult, and then it kind of flows through the ones that are a bit less difficult to validate. But we're always, we're part of many soldering companies' product development cycle, where we get new things often before they're named, and they go into our testing protocols to try to see if we can clean them. If not, they become a target for the new technology. This has been our practice for a very long time, and it's served us in the industry well. So we're excited about it. It's a product that's been out in customer operations now for a good 6 months or so, and getting performing well, and customers are really happy about it. The performance side, obviously, we're out on the shop floor, so we want to make sure that it's safe for people to use and safe for the environment, and of course that's a core part of what Kyzen does. So that's sort of where development starts, but it's worth mentioning that is there, even though we kind of don't do anything that's not, but we still like to remind people that that's a core part of the value adder.
So, is it targeted at any specific industries? Is it or is it for general use for industrial and consumer products, or are you looking at the automotive market? Or?
Well, when you look at cleaning is a funny critter in our market, right? The automotive industry cleans very selectively. Obviously, space system folks and military folks tend to clean it exhaustively, with medical people not far behind. But one of the interesting things that's going on in the market is what's perceived as high reliability is changing. Let's face it, our mobiles now cost way more than a laptop. Okay, now that's a reverse of what was the case not all that many years ago, where laptops were more expensive, computers were more expensive than phones.
So you're saying phones are becoming a more high reliability product because
Absolutely.
it's containing so much more information.
Our lives are there.
Yeah.
You know, our photos are there, our financial everything about our lives are there. So when your phone has a moment, it's the thing. Now phones are very high production, very very limited things in the phones are cleaned, but we think that there's a growing trend for where cleaning is being proven to be a value adder for folks and growing in utility.
Well, I mean, in the phone market in particular, I mean, the one of the recent applications is hydrophobic coatings. So presumably you're going to want to clean before you start applying a hydrophobic coating.
As we all know from our homes and our cars and things like that, when you paint or coat things, adhesion is critical, and adhesion on dirty surfaces is poor on average, or at least compromised. And so, that's where cleaning's, again, as more and more coatings in many different applications are becoming more popular, that tends to increase awareness and interest in cleaning, and those that are on the leading edge of those things tend to buy in. Right. And they get on the bus, and then slowly it grows. So it's cleaning is continuing to expand, and these new products are helping us penetrate deeper into the marketplace, and we're excited about it.
And I hear you've been getting some really enthusiastic testimonials.
We are. The customers that have been the early adopters on this are very happy. They've in some cases been Kyzen customers, in some cases been other people's customer, and particularly the folks that are new to us have been very pleased with sort of from on all bases. From not only the product doing a great job, but they've gotten to experience our technical support approach, which is a bit unique in the industry, in that we're standing there next to the customer dealing with problems until there isn't a problem, and that's when both our job's done. So we can when those processes are running very well, they're very reliable, very robust, and that tech support when it's needed is a critical piece of keeping those customers up and producing and shipping product. And like I say, it's been a new life experience for some that they've found very attractive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know the Kyzen Labs, and you take a very scientific approach to it, which is refreshing. Anyway, nice to catch up, Tom. Great to hear about the 4626 Aquanox, and we wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you much, Trevor. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.